Hi, welcome back. I'm Joel with 1thousandonewords.com. And up until today, all I've really talked about is the negative aspects of information. I've talked about trolling and I've talked about disinformation and misinformation. But what I really haven't talked about and what I'm going to talk about today are where to find good information sources. So today's topic is, what about good information sources? Here's a guide to some reputable and credible sources. And we'll go ahead and get started with the Associated Press and Wire Services. These are your journalists that are out in the field collecting information, doing the interviews, getting the pictures, with the sole purpose of getting their name and that information out to the public as far as possible, as far as spread wide as possible. AP and wire service reports are going to be good, credible sources for information. But with that said, and what I taught in journalism for several years is even if your mom says she loves you, find a secondary source. Trust but verify the information that you're getting. Always. Which leads me to Twitter. Twitter's great because you get the information directly from the source. It is awesome for quotes. But that information may be inaccurate. While you're getting information from the source, that source may not be providing you with the best facts. It's always best to verify the information that you're getting from Twitter. But if you're looking just for a really great opinion quote, Twitter's a good place to go. But with that said, you have to be careful of the fake and parody accounts. Someone you may think you may have gotten information from a credible source. Well, that account may have been off by one letter, and it could have been a parody account or something made up about somebody. So just be careful. Go back and look at the person's bio if you have an opportunity, and make sure that you're getting the information from the correct source. And speaking of directly from the source, Reddit is a great location to get information directly from the source, especially if you go to the Ask Me Anything subreddit. So AMA is an opportunity for the public to ask high-profile people direct questions and get direct responses. But the important thing is when you get into Reddit is to read beyond the headline. Don't let your emotion become the driving force behind what you share. Some of the great sources, .gov sites are also very good for credible information. It's coming directly from the government. Pretty much any .gov agency is going to have some really good information in it, but make sure that you're actually reading the documents and not just the press releases. The press releases are going to highlight what's going to make the agency look good. And I don't mean that the information is bad, but it's going to be presented in the way that's going to make their agency look its best. And it may be accurate and it may not. That's why it's always important to go back and look at the source documents. To go to house.gov and just read a summary of a bill is not going to give you all the information that's actually included in the bill. And I know some of these documents are vast, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and give you a little secret here. Control F. If you know that there's a certain phrase that you're looking for within a bill, Control F within that bill. It'll bring up a little screen. You'll type in what you're looking for, and off you go to go find that. And it'll give you every search that comes back within that document for what you're looking for. Great tool to use. Highly recommend it. I've included TED Talks in this presentation only because it's a good source for a variety of topics. And the way things are presented in TED Talks are usually developed to allow you to open your mind to better critical thinking, think differently about leadership, and provide you with some motivation to find new ways and inventive ways of doing things. Pretty cool. .edu sites, educational websites. Again, these may contain some bias. Just because it says edu doesn't mean it's free from bias. However, peer-reviewed documents, peer-reviewed journals, peer-reviewed information that you're going to find in .edu sites are going to be highly credible. So any kind of peer-reviewed documents on edu sites are very good for information. But source documents are still important. So if there's a certain study that you're interested in, and you read about that study in a .edu site, it's important to go through the bibliography and look back at some of the source documents to help validate that same reference that you're using. Very important. All right, let's talk about Wikipedia. So Wikipedia has all the cited material at the bottom of every page. And when I was teaching research, educational research, I would tell people that they weren't allowed to cite Wikipedia, but they could cite the referenced materials used to build the Wikipedia page. So everything has an onion layer to it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, Wikipedia, not good. Cited material for Wikipedia, good. Cited material that they got their cited material for Wikipedia, best. Then we'll talk about the Google machine. Scholar.google.com is great. It takes you to all the source information for peer-reviewed articles that are generally from .edu or .gov websites, which is highly important. Google itself is only as good as the sources you choose. So the links that pop up on any Google search, it's important to go back and make sure that the links that you're clicking on are from valid sources. Because Google is only as good as the sources that you personally choose. And to wrap up this week, here's what I'd like to talk about. Two of my personal favorite blogs. So for different reasons, and has nothing to do with credible news information. This is just for fun. I'd like to go ahead and plug some of my friends. We can call this the Veterans Network, so to speak. But In the Mind of Darcy, she's a retired Coast Guard senior chief, petty officer, and she has her personal blog, which is insightful, good social commentary. Mind of Darcy, mindofdarcy.wordpress.com. And one of my other favorites is the Ear Candy Update, which is social commentary wrapped up in music, which is pretty cool. And my good friend Duke Wilberry at gonzotrail.blogspot.com has his Ear Candy Update. Highly recommend both of those for this week. Again, keep hanging out with me at 1thousandonewords.com, and I'll keep giving you information, and maybe I'll continue to give you some of the more fun side of information as well. Have a great day.